We learn to look at our body as a mystery school. Everybody's body has answers, and in doing this work, we're learning to activate our innate ability for healing, growth, and transformation. It's a very fine line between doing something to a person or for a person and holding space for their transformation to unfold naturally, for their body to express. This is a natural process. We're just learning to fill the body with more chi and prana, and then working with the body and the spine in a way that we express more of ourselves, our sexual self, our spiritual self, our emotional self, all of the bodies, including our mental self, our astral self, our soul self. Any self that you want to create can be there, because our body is a mystery school, and we're learning to use this work to see our illusion, the maya that we live in, and also to transform it from the very base level, the level that our body vibrates at. This is a level 2 training in Portugal. We call them advanced trainings, but we could also call them intense trainings or masterclasses, because we really do cover a lot of information in a week. In the level 2, we focus much more on the spine and the transference of knowledge into the spine, and how to make sure that this is a safe process, a pure process, not one of manipulation or domination or taking energy from another human being. Non-duality, paradoxes, and how we weave them all together in life to create our illusion, to create our maya. And when we're working with the feminine pathway, we're understanding that energy and information and communication is coming out through our chakra system. So we express life and then we receive life. When we start to work with the spine, you can have a Kundalini awakening just spontaneously for any reason. You don't need to have a spiritual background. Energy can just come into your body and awaken you. When you look at Shaktipat, and gurus are giving people, awakening their Kundalini, giving them Shaktipat, that's the descent of energy or information that comes down into the spine, and then that is knowledge, that's information that will activate your Kundalini, your coiled energy in the base of your spine. So Kundalini is a coiled store of energy that we can move through our body and increase through spiritual practice. We also just create it through life. This is why our sexual energy is so important in working, in increasing this energy and not just letting it spill out. So as Kundalini is the descent of knowledge, of information, it descends into the base of our spine, and then as that awakens within us, you see this metaphor of the two snakes rising up the spine. So in level 1, we were just working with the feminine pathway, with the chakra system, the organs and the glands. In level 2, we're not here to give each other Shaktipat, we're not enlightened gurus. We want to support how can somebody else open their crown and invite their higher self into their body. How can they bring their highest aspirations inside their spine? So we're not so much giving them the knowledge or putting it into them, but we're supporting them and allowing them to become more of who they are. So Shaktipat, left-hand path, is described as the path of surrender. So you're not doing it with your will. Love under will, you're surrendering to. So we need to find, what do we surrender to? Now if you're with a guru, you surrender to the guru, their knowledge, their lineage, their aspiration. So when we come to activating ourselves, we have to find, what am I surrendering to? Where is my trust or devotion? If you're completely devoted to Shiva or some etheric god, or you chant a lot, this wakes your energy up because you're in devotion, you're in surrender. So we need to find, what am I devoted to? What do I surrender to, in order to really allow Shaktipat to happen? And I would suggest you surrender to life. As enlightenment is the masculine pathway, I just want to annihilate the illusion and find complete truth. But complete truth is oneness, the absolute dissolution of my ego, and then nothing exists. I've annihilated the whole illusion. I'm at one with God. And the feminine pathway is more about actually polarity, duality. This is what life is. This is what beauty comes from. But obviously in life there's pain and there's suffering. So when we find surrender and we find devotion, that's surrendering to the maya, to your illusion, to life, to being alive. I surrender to being alive. I surrender to this illusion. I'm devoted to making this a beautiful place. So as you find devotion and surrender in your heart, that's not specifically for a person, it's not for me, it's not for Shiva, it's not for some, you have to find your own path of devotion, your own path of surrender, and that generally is for life, is for humanity, is for the illusion that we're creating.